It's a trap! So, Star Wars themed gags aside, this is not financial advice, but I wanted to explain something to you which I've come across recently, which has been niggling at me. So earlier on today, I looked at the amount coming out of my bank account for all of my PayPal Pay 3 arrangements, and it was a lot. And what I have found personally is that PayPal Pay 3 is a really, really useful way to split your payments across 3 months. And I think it's a psychological thing, I'm sure that's the way it's intended. Because you don't pay any more for splitting your payments in 3. But I found on the UK version of the app and the website when I go on it, that you can't get a summary of the total cost that you currently have running on your PayPal Pay 3 arrangements. So what I mean by that is that all you get is a list. You don't get a total. And that means in any given month, if you want to figure out exactly what you're going to be paying out in that month on your PayPal Pay 3s, you've got to add it up yourself. The added danger is that because they're so convenient for paying things like auctions, which you will appreciate, use a lot on this channel, if you lose track of how much you've spent in the previous months, you might think you're not adding that much to your monthly bill, when in fact you've got a bill from 2 months ago and a month ago and that current month that's going to hit you in that current month because of the way the system works. And there's no easy way to figure out what you're going to get hit with in that month unless you physically do it yourself and tot it up. And the odds are, if you're human like me, you won't do it. And the app could do it really, really easily, and so could the website. But I suspect that because it's not a credit arrangement as such, because it's just, you're not paying any more, so it's not credit in the normal sense like a credit card would be, they don't bother doing it. And that can lead to some nasty surprises when you forget how many Pay 3 arrangements you've already got going when you add another one. So I don't think there's any easy way around it other than keeping a really close eye on how many you've got going at any given point in time. That's the only way you're going to manage it, unless PayPal and similar providers decide to do something different. Now, if you're like me, I get this Pay 3 offer every time I spend more than £30. So it is really useful because my mindset is, well, 30 quid over 3 months is only a tenner a month. So it doesn't sound like a lot. But once you've got 3 of those same arrangements going, you are paying £30 a month for 3 months. So it's quite an ongoing commitment that, needs paying. You can't really defer it. Although you could probably pay it off if you got more money in if you chose to. But nevertheless, it's one of those ones where it's not the most obvious thing. And once it's come out, it's gone. And then, if you have to start paying overdraft charges on the amount that's come out because you weren't anticipating it, then it starts getting expensive. And then the advantage of having done it as a Pay 3 in the first place, to avoid having to take out credit, starts to get eroded. So, I think it's a useful thing to have available to you. And it does allow you to spread cost, but you do, I find, have to monitor yourself how much cost you're actually spreading, because otherwise it does start to get painful. And I'm a so-and-so for going on auctions and just thinking, oh, I've got to have that, got to do a buy it now, or whatever. And I just use PayPal because it's convenient and the Pay 3 is convenient. And they never seem to stop you, in my experience again, from using Pay 3. So I've never hit the equivalent of a credit limit on it. So you could conceivably add a lot on paying 3 amounts and not realise you're doing it, and not be told that you're doing it, and not be stopped from doing it. Because, as I say, I don't think it's subject to normal sort of credity rules, and that's why you don't seem to get particularly stopped from doing it. So I'm just conscious that kind of, obviously Christmas is now not that far off at the time of recording. And if you do have a lot of these plans running, just take a moment perhaps to think, actually, are they all still going to be running come Christmas, which is an expensive month, obviously, for most of us? And if so, what's that going to mean for me? Because I think that as helpful as it's coming across as, because it's not getting treated in the same way as a credit agreement will get treated, it's a little bit more dangerous, I think, personally. So, I'd be interested in your views on that, obviously. It's not the sort of topic I normally cover on this channel at all, but it is tied into the fact that I buy a lot of stuff on auctions to help to help make content for this channel. So I dare say there are other schemes out there, and I'd be interested to see if other schemes handle it in a different way in terms of giving you totals and so on for how much you're actually spending, because that would be of interest to me to hear, because I just wonder if PayPal, I noticed they are changing their terms and conditions, so I wonder if this is going to get introduced for them because they are offering more credit, but I just think this is a bit of a gap because it's not strictly speaking credit. But as I say, I'll be very interested to hear what you think and what your thoughts are on this as a way to sort of spread your payments. So yeah, just let me know in the comments and we'll perhaps have a conversation there. Cheers for now.